21 neat has been convicted to life in prison. Let me use my own post for this one here. He's been convicted to life in prison, eligibility for parole in 20 years for the double homicide of Smoke Dog as well as Cozy. RIP to both of them. Condolences to their families. What do y'all think? Do you think that it was enough? Do you think it was light? I've seen some people saying in the comments, exclusive, and today, 1 second. I've seen some people saying in the comments that that's kind of light for 2 bodies. With all due respect. I agree. They gave... And listen, I'm not even going to play that, oh, I'm not wishing jail on no... If you murdered this young man, you got to go sit down, my G. If you murdered 2 young men, you have to sit down 2 times over. If they gave AR Ab 47 years and there's no bodies, and this nigga got off with 20 years and he has 2? Shit, yo, if you're American, move to Canada, fam. I'm sorry. Can I break that down to you again? AR Ab, Philadelphia rapper, multiple drug charges, conspiracies to murders and all that, but no murders. 47 years. 21 neat. 2 bodies. Broad daylight. Innocent people around. 20 years. Or life. Sorry, 25 years. My bad. 25 years. Eligible for parole in 20. Likeliness that he'll get parole in 20? I don't know. I can't say no. I can't say yes. You know, I can't say, oh, well, you ain't going to get that. 20 years from now, he could have... You got to understand, when you start going through the system, you start... And I'll explain to you guys a few things, okay? For the people who don't know. You start your journey at Millhaven. Okay, J Unit. J Unit is for, it's a range for all of the people who have murders, violent crimes, like extremely violent crimes, right? Just high incidents, like high level convictions, or, you know, football numbers, as they say. They all got to go through J Unit for 2 years, at least 2 years, no incidents. Now, if you're like a lifer, right, which 21 neat has now become a lifer. Okay. This means now you're going to jail for life, which is 25 years. They didn't give him consecutive life sentences, right? Which would have made it 50 years. They gave him 1 life sentence. And I'm still waiting for more information to come down the pipeline. Salute to my people behind the scenes who work in the mainstream media and other things like that. Court reporters, all stuff like that. I'm still waiting for more information. So I'll definitely keep y'all posted. But when it comes to that, you start off in Millhaven in the J Unit. You got to go at least 2 years without any incidents, okay? No fights, no institutional charges, anything of that nature. And then over time, as you continue to show progress with your parole officer, because you're assigned a parole officer when you go, and this is for the pen. This is not for when you're in like provincial jail. When you're convicted, and you're convicted 2 years plus, but for obviously for like somebody like 21 neat, 25 years, you're going to go to the pen, you're going to get assigned a parole officer for while you're in there. If your parole officer sees that you have done some progress, okay? And let me reiterate something before I get to that part. You have to do at least 2 years in there, no incidents. The other inmates that you're with are all highly violent offenders as well. So good luck with that. Okay? Good luck not getting into a fight when you're surrounded with everybody who just murders people or who have murdered somebody. Okay? Like imagine like you're in a jail, but the designations of people are not different. There's not, oh, a guy who has child support here, a fucking guy who has a shooting there, a guy who has a petty drug charge, a guy who has a couple of keys. No, everybody on your range killed somebody. Okay? And they're all there for the rest of their life. So imagine the amount of tension, the amount of angst that these motherfuckers have, especially when they first get their convictions over the first 2 years. And then you say to them, don't fight. Get along, guys. The bikers, the Bloods, the Crips, all the bad guys, as they say, right? Don't fight, guys. Just get along. These small, it's jail, so it's not going to be comfortable. But don't fight, guys. Don't shank each other. Right? Just stay out of trouble, guys. And then you can get moved down in your security level. All right? By the time you get 15 years in, you should be out. And this is a maximum detention. Maximum detention being 22 and a half hours lockdown per day with an hour and a half outside, half of that, and that being yard time. Okay? You can get your showers in. You can do your fucking, your laps around the fucking field. And when they let them niggas out, because there's other people who are in that jail. It's a big jail. It's not just for them. Like, everybody goes there for assessment. All right? I was there for assessment. I ain't killed nobody. So, when we go out in the yard, it's a whole different time than when the J Unit guys go out in the yard. They don't put us out in the yard in the same time as the J Unit niggas. Them niggas is all killers. They go out in the yard together on their own time. Hour and a half, walking the track, stashing shanks in the dirt. Like it gets mucky. You know how many shanks we done found from J Unit guys? Besides the ones that, man, them stashed themselves? Like in the dirt? Like, it's a thing, fam. Jail is not a fucking resort. So that man now has to like go through this transition of going through J Unit and not getting into any incidents. Hopefully not getting transferred to another place because he's what they call incompatible. Meaning, not that like, you got to PC him or something. That he gets into so much beef. He has so much ops, so much swap outs and stabbings that he's not compatible to be in this jail with these guys here. We got to ship him to another place. Because that happens too. Jail's a crazy fucking place. And then over the years, if he can get through that, then he can get moved down in his security levels. He can get moved to a place like Collins Bay, Joyceville. They might move him up to one of those places further up, closer to Quebec or in Quebec, right? But he gets to go into what they call a medium detention and spend his years in the next maybe 10, 12 years in the medium. Okay? I'm dropping some information. I don't know if it's game, but it's information of what he's going to be going through now that he's been convicted. Okay? And I want to say once again, I want to say RIP to Smoke Dog, RIP to Cozy, and condolences to their family. Because no matter what, lives have been lost. So unfortunately, fuck what he's going through, because 2 people have been lost here and their families have to go through this. Right? But I just want to explain to y'all what his next few years are going to be looking like before he gets to that 20-year mark where now he can go in front of the parole board and show his progress. Okay? Because by that time comes, he's hopefully, if he doesn't like live a wild jail life, in a minimum detention. Okay? A lot of the times, like, I was in a minimum detention. I'm a good youth. I did a lot of bad shit, but I'm a good youth. So when it was time for me, because I didn't have a bunch of priors and I wasn't what they call an escape risk, they put me in a minimum detention. Places like Frontenac, that's where I was at. There's Beaver Creek. That's over there in Penitentiary. Right near Barrie. Not too far from here. So when you get to those places, you get to cook your own food. You know what I'm saying? You get a more dorm system rather than a fucking cell. It's way more blessed. It's like, it doesn't feel like as much of a jail type of situation that you were going through while you're in your transition from provincial to federal and all of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you see guys who are usually in minimum detention, they're usually old men. Like the murderers, the guys who have M's, most of them who are in minimum detention are old ass niggas. Because the last 18 years, they've been like growing up, going through changes, calming down, and moving through the system from maximum to medium to finally minimum security. If you're in minimum security at this point, by the 18-year mark, you have a way better chance of getting a parole because you've been able to show that you can get to minimum. That you're not a fucking wild out that has to stay in the maximum fucking 22 and a half hours locked down every day. When you're in minimum, you're barely locked down, fam. You just have to be inside your cell for the count 2-3 times a day. The rest of the time you're outside. You're in a common room. You're fucking flipping burgers and shit. Real talk. In jail. Prison. So we'll see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, man got handed down a sentence. And no offense to him, but I do agree with the comment gang. It wasn't that heavy of a sentence. 25 years for 2 bodies, bro. He got a good lawyer. Straight up. What y'all think about this, though? Because it sent a ripple effect. I seen some people that were already saying that these guys had some issues before this incident, and these guys meaning like the Wasp gang and the Halal gang. But with this incident that happened, and that being the 2018 shooting of Smoke Dog, which happened like right around this time of the year. What do you guys think about the ripple effect that's happened since then? Do you think, and y'all can call and let me know, 563-999-3099. Like, have things gotten worse as far as the beef between the 2 crews, the Toronto rap scene, as far as like more beef coming into the Toronto rap scene, more politics? Was this all as exacerbated by this incident, this summer incident? Because, what, 3 or 4 years later now, the convictions have come down. We're still talking about it. We're obviously all still missing Smoke Dog as well as Cozy. So I feel like this is, like, besides Smoke Dog himself having a big impact on the scene, this incident right here was a major turn in the scene. Let me know if I'm off or if you all agree with me when it comes to that. Comic Gang strong. Right? Like, there's been beefs with multiple artists who are down with these guys since then. Mans have gone to jail because of rap beef or whatever beef, retaliation, whatever shit that's gone on since then. It's not just, oh, that happened and everybody went amongst their business. Right? Obviously not, because 4 years later, we're still looking now at the conviction of 21 Neat. Right? It wasn't a, oh, boom, 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 let's get it out of here in like a year. It took 4 years to get this conviction. So let me know what y'all think. Was this a turning point in the scene, or was the scene already fucked up, already on a bad turn? Let's see what y'all saying here. Darnell Smith says there are things that go down behind the wall due to that event. That's a lot of people don't even know or don't even hear about. Definitely a turning point. Yeah. Yeah. Like, every passing has a ripple effect, obviously. You know, when it comes to like retaliation, losses, financial stresses, all those different things. But some do have more of a ripple effect than others. Balder9 says, I feel like having too much enemy, is not worth it. You got to be looking over your shoulder every day in life. That's a fact. That's a whole fact, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say about this, fam. Because, like, both teams have so many talented guys in them. And in the end of the day, it's hard for me to believe that this is hood politics. Because these hoods are not next to each other. I've said this before on camera. Most beef is a proximity thing. Right? When Region was beefing really crazy, it was Northside versus Southside Region. Okay? We're beefing for the same area. My bad. We're beefing for the same area. But when you start having guys who live all the way up in fucking Jane and Finch, and then guys who live all the way down in downtown in fucking Regent Park having beef, it's hard for me to believe that the root of this is not somewhere musically, because that's the only thing that brings us together publicly. Unless niggas is meeting up OT and having issues out there. Right? But I want to assume that that's not the issue. I'm not here to get to the bottom of it or none of that. That's not my job. But I would like to know where the issue started. Because now lives have been lost, multiple lives. The ones who are not here in the physical, besides the ones who are here in the physical. And the ripple effect is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Once again, R.I.P. to Smoke Dog. R.I.P. to Cozy. And all the best to this young gentleman here, okay? I'll say that. I won't say free him, but I'll say all the best to you. Hopefully that this is something as a teachable moment to you while you're sitting in your cell looking ahead at like a tunnel of time. Right? Mentally, I can't relate to that. I could only relate to the little baby time that I had. And that felt like oh my God, this is going to take forever to get through this. But when you know that you got 25 years, at least 20 of them down the line, that tunnel looks crazy long. You're like, fuck. It's a lot of birthdays, my G. Hope it was worth it. What else we got here, man?